Hello everyone and welcome to our video on Sophos Optix, which is a cloud security and posture management solution to help meet your compliance and security needs in the cloud. So now let's dive into Sophos Optix to see how you can go about onboarding your cloud environments. You can onboard your cloud environments, your Kubernetes and IACs and container registries all from one single place. What you'll also notice is Cloud Optix is an agentless solution, which implies that you would not need to onboard any of your EC2 VMs with any of the agents. To start with, let's look at how you would go about onboarding your AWS environment. As you can see, there are a couple of options available here. We would highly recommend that you go with the full setup option because it helps you visualize and opens up the complete optics solution for you to use. And as you can see, it's just a matter of a few steps and uses CloudFormation to onboard and connect optics to your AWS environment. And similarly, you can onboard your Azure, GCP, Kubernetes environments as well. You can also integrate with infrastructure as code repositories. So you can integrate natively with GitHub, Bitbucket, and Jenkins, or you can also integrate using Cloud Optix APIs. So using Cloud Optix, you can check your Terraform, CloudFormation, Ansible, Kubernetes, and Azure ARM templates to check and find any potential security issues and help them stop in early phases and help shift security towards the left. We can also onboard container registries, something that we will see very soon. Once you have onboarded your cloud environments, you'll be able to see all your environments in this one singular place. We need to ensure that these three API activity and flow logs are green flags, which ensures that your Optix is able to successfully talk to your cloud providers. In case there are any issues or any errors that you see, please reach out to Cloud Desk at Sophos, or you can also reach out to your Sophos support for further help. What you can also do is help visualize your current usage of cloud assets over daily and hourly usage. All right, so once your environments are onboarded, you would be able to visualize all of your cloud assets at one singular place across your multiple cloud providers. What you would also notice is that our cloud console is color-coded. So anything in red demands your immediate attention. So now let's look at one of the public hosts that we see under AWS. So as we see here, there are around 53 public hosts that are running in your AWS environments. You can also see the security groups that are associated with this. Now clicking upon one of the red tagged security groups, you'll be able to see that this particular instance is open to the whole wide internet on all the ports. Something which is not a good practice at all, which does not ensure least privilege. So as a cloud admin, you would have to go about and check whether these ports need to be closed and restricted. What you can also do is cross-reference this information. So you can check whether any of the Sophos server agents are installed on these public instances. So we see here that out of 53 public, there are just two which have Sophos server agents installed, which implies that the rest 51 are not protected. What you can also do is use the best of both worlds and also find Amazon inspector findings against these public instances. And not just hosts, you'll be able to have a visualization of your containers, network, storage, IAM, and serverless architecture. As part of a cloud environment onboarding, we also onboard flow logs and activity logs. And we use AI and machine learning on top of it to get and see if there are any suspicious network or IAM activity that may be going on in your network. This would help you catch and trace those malicious actors very, very early on. So now let's look at how Optics would integrate with Sophos Labs Intellix at no additional cost. And you'll be able to see if there are any malicious or suspicious activity that may be going on in your network. So you can help tag source IP, destination IP, and help tag those Sophos Labs Intellix activity as well. We also use AI to find if there are any risky behaviors in your cloud environment. Risky behaviors could include security group changes, VPC changes, NACL changes, IAM policy changes, which may suggest that a threat actor is trying to make changes in your IAM or S3 environment to gain access into your cloud environment. And my most favorite part of it would be to help tag those anomalous users. So let's look at one of the anomalous user, which looks like a high confidence. So we see that this particular user is tagged as high confidence, and an alert is raised out of it because they have done 61 actions, which is unusual in their behavior. Now you'd like to find out as to what those actions are. You can just click on this hyperlink and view as to what those were. What we also do is we establish a benchmark for each of your users to understand as to when do they start working, what are the end times, and what is the usual working hours. Based on which we can then identify whether any malicious or anomalous users are are doing any activity outside of their working hours, as most of the threat actors tend to use this to attack a cloud environment. Now we can also help save out on some costs. So you can use the spend monitor to see what your month on month expenditures really look like. And you can also view the cost by services as to which service led to the increase in costs. You can go to more granular level using our daily and monthly reports. And what you can also do is we can help you save out on some money by using our recommendations to save out your costs in the cloud environment. As we've discussed while onboarding our cloud environments, you can also integrate your container registries, your Amazon Elastic Container Registry, your Azure Container Registry, Docker Hub registries to Cloud Optics. What this does for you is this will help tag any vulnerabilities that may be associated with your images. You can prioritize and find all of those critical vulnerabilities right here. And the best part is you can also check if there are any fixes available. Now using this fix, you can put that into and integrate into your container image so that there is no vulnerability that is associated with your images as well. Most of the cloud customers upload and use S3 to upload their files into serverless storage S3. Now, it becomes a challenge because it is very difficult to identify and detect malware in your S3s. So using Optics, you can configure your S3 buckets. All right, we can also help you visualize your IAM and network infrastructure. Most of the cloud incidents that take place are due to misconfigured roles and user privileges. And it is really difficult and challenging to visualize these in your native cloud provider. So here's where we can help you with this diagrammatic representation to find out as to what user privileges are associated with the services. So if you see here, this particular user has direct access over an S3 bucket, something which is not at all recommended. Because as per AWS best practices, only roles should be attached to S3s or Lambdas instead of having users. What you can also do is also find information about whether or not these users are overprivileged. You can go about seeing as to what services these particular users have used in the last 12 months and which have not been used at all. So as a cloud admin, you can go about removing these access to maintain least privileges for all the users and groups associated in your cloud provider. What we can also do is help visualize your VPCs in the cloud environment. So if you see here, let's zoom that out a little bit. We'll be able to find the VPC peering connection between the VPCs. And now let's look at one of these VPCs. To start with, you can use the legend right here to understand what each of these icons actually mean. And once you do so, there are a couple of controls available up top. So if you see here, there's this traffic control available, which gives you an understanding as to what the outbound traffic and traffic ports for this EC2 really looks like. And to give you a visualization and understanding that the server agent, Sophos server agent that's installed on this web server has a bad health. Now, you can also find out as to what security groups are associated with this instance. You can hover over the arrows to see and find that this particular EC2 instance is open to the whole wide internet on all the ports and protocols. And if you piece the puzzle together, you'll find out that this EC2 is unprotected because it has a server agent which shows a bad status. It is active in nature because it is communicating in and out of the internet, and it is open to the whole wide internet. Now, this is very, very dangerous, as if a malicious actor were to attack this web server, they can gain access and get into your cloud environment. So you get all of this information all at one place. All right, now that you've seen how Optix can help you visualize and provide security to your cloud assets, let's see as to how you can maintain your compliance across your cloud assets. For that, we have very well-known benchmarks such as CIS, FedRAMP, HIPAA that come out of the box. You also have the option to customize these policies and create your own. You can go to very granular levels, select the environments that you want this policy to be applicable to, as well as also ensure that these policies are only applicable to certain tagged resources. And now, let's see how you can use and create your own Optix searches. The ones that we previously saw are out-of-the-box policies. But what if you want to create new ones for your own environment? So here's where you can create all of your searches. For example, you can create a search which alerts you if any hosts are created, and a search which alerts you in case a high confidence anomaly is detected. As mentioned, what you can also do is create alerts out of these policies. So as soon as a search is tagged, an alert is displayed right here. On the topic of alerts, now let's look at the alerts section. As it goes, all of it is color coded. So let's look at one of the critical alerts. So if you see here, we have an alert ID, a compliance tag associated with this, and the environments that it is applicable to. What you'll also notice is we provide the summary, a description of what really happened, and also guided remediation that you can go to your Azure portal or AWS or GCP and implement them manually. Additionally, what you can also do is use our automatic remediations to ensure that as soon as an alert is tagged, the functions on the Lambda are triggered and it is rectified then and there. What you will also notice, and it's very interesting, that instead of creating an alert for each of these resources, we logically group them together under one alert ID. This helps avoid the noise of alerts and helps a cloud admin focus on what is really important. We can also create Jira or ServiceNow tickets right from here. Uh, and integrations is something that we will see in a very short second. You can also find the consolidated reports of each of the CI's benchmark, its security score, and how it looked like over month. Now let's look at one of these CI's benchmarks. Um, you'll be able to see they are categorized based on the environments, and it shows you the result as to what failed and what passed for those. And you can actually go ahead and download this in a PDF or a CSV format. And this gives you a very good executive report of what really happened in your environment. This reporting is very popular while our customers and partners are using Cloud Optics because it provides all of the information at a singular glance. So I highly suggest that you use this feature and discuss it out with your team as to how best it can be implemented. And finally, now let's look at the integrations. Cloud Optics can integrate with a lot of third-party tools and also ticketing tools such as Jira, Slack, ServiceNow, emails, Cloud Optics API, and also SNS services. What's to note here is for Jira and ServiceNow, it is a two-way communication. So as soon as an alert is updated into Jira, it's also reflected on Cloud Optics dashboard. So it would be really helpful to sort of put these integrations on in case you have these tools in your organization. Hope you found this demonstration helpful. If you'd like to book a demo with us, please reach us out on the link below. Have a good day.